Is Jewish hair transplant is really different than other types? Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Parsa Mohebi, a hair transplant surgeon in Los Angeles. Today I'm here to tell you everything about Jewish hair transplantation and how is it different than other types of hair transplant procedures. Jewish hair transplantation could be different than other types of hair transplantation. The reason is that the quality of hair. Many Jewish people, they have curlier hair, wavy or curly hair, and they have thicker hair than average Caucasian people. So for that, the extraction might be a little more challenging. Sometimes the curliness is so much that it resembles African American hair, which is something that we call C curve, that the curvature goes very deep. The extraction of curly hair could be more challenging with current methods or with any methods. These days we do more and more FUE procedure, meaning that we use extraction of individual grafts. With the old method hair transplant, removing a strip, it was easier. But with FUE procedure, you have to have the right technique and the skills. And we evolved that over time because in our offices in Los Angeles, we have a lot of Jewish patients. And we have to update our methods and techniques and style to the level that we can deal with all types of hair, including Jewish hair transplantation. Hairline planning for Jewish hair transplant is similar to Caucasian hairline. The faces of Jewish people are similar to average Caucasian. We have different types. African American hairline design might be different. Hispanics might have different hairline designing, but Jewish, Middle Easterns, and Caucasians are usually falling in the same basket, and we follow the same criteria for designing the hairline. So the characteristics of Jewish hair is that is curly and most of the time is thicker than normal, thicker than average. So being thick is good. It gives patients more volume, more density, more coverage. And it also helps it to make it easier for extraction. But curvature makes it way more difficult to extract hair. So if you have Jewish type hair or have curly hair of different types, you want to make sure that you get it done by a person who has enough experience in this type of procedure, a person who has done many people like you in past. Otherwise, you may feel like the grafts that are transplanted, many of them may not grow because they're not extracted properly, so they might not be viable. Patients of Jewish descent usually have different pattern of hair loss, different final pattern of hair loss. A lot of Caucasians, when they start losing hair at early 20s to late 30s, they go a little bit corners, a little bit crown, and then they stop. A lot of Jewish patients that we have, a lot of them in our Los Angeles offices, when they start losing hair, they go to the advanced classes. A lot of people, if you go to the communities that have older Jewish people, you see a lot of them end up with class 6 or 7. They only have a rim of hair around the scalp, narrow rim or wide rim, which makes class 7 or class 6. So that's very important. So you know that you have to emphasize on family pattern. You know exactly who was like this patient at their age to predict where they're heading in the future. That's one factor. The other one is microscopic evaluation. We have to use a microscope to see what's the level of miniaturization of the scalp. Combination of the two shows us exactly where this patient is heading. The patient might be 20 years old, 24 years old, have just a little bit of recession, but we don't look at it as class 3 and just fill the corners. We want to see how far they're going to go with the hair loss and what kind of reserve we have and plan for long term. We call it master planning. We want to make sure we have a plan that's good for the rest of their lives, not just for the next few years. I hope I was able to shed some light on Jewish hair transplantation and answer some of your questions. If you have more questions, make sure you put them on the comment section and we get back to them and answer them as soon as we can. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel and you will be getting updates about the newest techniques and innovations in hair restoration procedures.